Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Pro Trader. My name is Kylie Hogg, and today I'm joined with Jeff Burfield. Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Today is the 25th of November, and that leads me to say that it's now exactly 1 month to Christmas. How's your Christmas shopping going, Jeff?
I'm male.
How's your wife going with Christmas shopping,
She's
Jeff?
doing good.
I'm going Christmas shopping after work today. It's very exciting. Okay, so with a month to go, we're all very much looking forward to hopefully what we're going to get as a Santa rally at Christmas. So until then, the market's looking very exciting and very healthy. This is the All Ords. It slumped a bit. We're all feeling doom and gloom, and it's now kicking up to approaching all-time highs again. So things are looking pretty positive. I dare say a lot of it's in the banks. But there are some stocks happening out there that are moving. So we thought today, because we did, was it 2 weeks ago, we did a chat, we had a watch list, didn't we?
Yeah, that watch list hasn't done much.
It hasn't done much. so we need to add to our watch list. So we thought we'd do a scan, and this is the scan that we did. It's in patterns and events. I basically just clicked on 20, so nothing in the pattern section, just 21 breakup of a close. So basically I want to see anything that is closed higher than it has in the past 21 days. I want to see also anything that's had increasing volume for 3 days. This TCI means trend channel indicator, and I want to see something that's been going horizontal for 21 days. And then also anything that's had OBV at 21% above 3 days ago. And I was working out which best dollars, and we thought we both go $1 to $10 because penny stocks can be a bit risky at the moment. So 1 to 10 to play a little bit safe, and then we want to ignore results of less than $250,000 and anything that hasn't traded more than $1 million. So we did that scan, and I won't do it because my computer's a bit slow today, but we got 68 results. So we sat here and went through all 68 and came up with a list of 8 that we thought looked pretty good. So we thought we'd go through those and talk about why we think they look good. So the first one.
First one was AIA.
It's always a bit nerve-wracking because this is Air New Zealand, or it's at their airport. But the reason that we wanted to talk about this was this massive increase in volume and 2 big days. Why is that? Don't know. You probably need to find out. I'm sure you'd be able to comment and fill us in on probably why the Auckland International Airport has spiked. But when you start looking at it from a 5-year chart, it's a lot of support around that $6.30 level. It was trying to reach it. It's bounced off. Is it out of the woodwork? No, this could potentially be a spike and then it takes that level out and goes back down to $6.30, or it could be a real change here. So I think worth watching mainly because of this, and I'd like to explore more.
I also think the trend line has changed. It's crossed over, so I think that makes a difference as well.
Yeah. Are you talking more about these moving average lines?
The moving averages have all crossed over, and if you look back 12 months, as soon as it crossed over, it took a run.
Yep.
And I think that could be what's happening now.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's good advice. So I think that, well, not advice, but point. But I think it'd be interesting to go back and have a find out what's happening with the airport. But if anyone knows, feel free to comment. Okay, next.
Next one's AMP.
Oh, AMP. I have a love-hate relationship with this stock. Every time I buy it, it goes down, and when I sell it, it goes up. Okay. But from a chart perspective, it looks all right.
Yeah, on balance, volume is all right. It's not really a flag, but I like that it's touching the top a few times, and
yep.
I think once it sort of breaks the 57, 58,
yep,
it may take off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. Remove the fact that it's AMP, that chart looks pretty good. It looks nice. It's definitely got lots of high lows, and it seems to be in an uptrend, so you can't argue with that.
No.
Okay.
Next one was BOQ.
Bank of Queensland. This did nothing for such a long time, and then clearly had an announcement here. Then you had your sellers come in, which is normal. It's filled these gaps. I felt it was aiming for this gap down here at $2 $1.27, but it didn't, and it's now slowly gone and filled this gap. Approaching $7.
And that's what I'd wait for with the bank. They tend to be a bit fickle sometimes, but if it breaks to $7, I think you could be close to moving up even higher.
Looking an entry, yep, has an entry point there. And I think the same with AMP. You're seeing it slowly build, and the lows are getting higher. So, yep.
Okay, next one was CNI.
Okay, now this one I got to come up, and I'll have to bring it up this way to show you in the scan. This came up through the trend channel indicator that I talked about. And the reason I liked it is the trend channel is designed to show you a trend that a stock is in. It makes it easy for you to see. What it then should do is, if you have it on, I think it is this chart, whenever it changes colour, it will be black. And it's doing it right now. It's been in a red trend, and now we've got these two lines here and they're black, which is to indicate that there's a potential change in trend. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because of that reason, that according to the computer, there could be a change in trend and it's no longer in a down. We're seeing it's above moving average, again, exactly like we saw with that other stock. So I wanted to sort of talk about that. OBV is staying really solid through this down move. It's starting to kick up. So I don't know what CNI do, but for me, I'm keen to keep an eye on this chart. So that was my reason for wanting to talk about it. Do you have any comments on that, Jeff?
No, not really. It's, like you said, the on-balance volume's there. I think the trend lines are just starting to cross over.
Yep.
I'd watch it for a bit longer just to see.
Just to see, make sure. Yeah. So it'd be nice to see it form a higher low out of here, which it kind of has. There's your low there. There's your new higher low, and it's taken that out. So you could argue it's there, but I agree. Probably a little bit more time just to see. Nice to see it move sideways for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, next one was IPL.
Okay, this has had a break from this level here at $3.20. It looks like it wants to take out the $3.23. Let's put it on a 5-year. I wouldn't say that's a saucer, but it's looked like it's had a downtrend. It's found its base and it's starting to move up again and create higher highs, higher lows. So you could sort of argue it takes out that $3.20. Potential target could be $3.35, $3.56, 57, $3.86, and then the top here. So there's a bit to work on IPL. I would feel this one would be better trading on a weekly chart because it's quite noisy. There's lots of moves in it. It's up and down. You wouldn't want to watch it every day. I think you'd have a heart attack. It's quite nice looking at that stock on a weekly chart.
It still looks as though it's going up. It's just the on-balance volume is a bit rough.
It's a bit rough, yeah. It's a bit rough, but probably one to keep an eye on.
Okay. Next one is PBH. And this is your favourite.
This is look at all my lines on it. I've got lines everywhere. Look at, I should have bought it here, should have bought it here. Maybe this is another shoulda, woulda, coulda, that where we should buy it now. As we both agree, this is forming a pattern. It's trying very hard to form something. It is on a weekly chart. The 95 cents was a resistance. It has broken that. I think now $1 is a real issue for it. Bearing in mind you've got a massive gap here, and who knows if that is going to come into play. With this, it was a while ago. It has filled this gap. Be interesting. There it is here. Oops, sorry. So we're looking at this here. It's in an uptrend. You can't deny that. It's whether it's got the legs to keep going.
I think it has. to me it looks as though it's trying to form a flag. On balance, volume's good, and the part that I do like is the buyers are 3-1.
Right. Yeah. So the depth looks good.
Yep.
So PBH tick. Like the look of that. Yeah. I think I'd like to see it close above $1 personally.
Yeah, that's psychological.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
SDF is the next one.
Sure what's happening with this computer today. There we go. There it is. Okay. Right. Gaps galore. Gaps. More gaps. Okay. I wanted to talk about this because it's obviously gapped down. It's had major issues. It's formed a little, there's resistance there. It's now gone and closed that gap. Well done. It's left a gap behind, which I wouldn't be surprised if that now comes back and fills that gap below it, and then works its way back up again to this level. Again, I talk about it, we talk about it all the time. We like to see things move sideways so that the next move up is a strong move. But this stock is, to me, behaving a bit textbook style. See if it proves me wrong with coming back to fill this down here before it keeps going again. What are your thoughts, Jeff?
I might disagree on this one. I'd rather watch it for a while because there's too much happening. Coming down, going up, gaps both going down and coming up.
Yeah.
And there's no real, like you could say, $6 is an issue.
Yeah.
But I'm very unsure on that one.
Yeah, it is very gappy.
Yeah.
It could go, as we like to say, it can either go up or down.
Yes.
So
like everything.
And we don't know. Yeah, that's right. We don't know which way that's going to go. Okay, next one.
And the last one is YAL.
Yell, okay. I am positive I have at least spoken about this stock, I think, in Friday broadcast. This is the same. It's left a big gap. It's done its little whatever it's needed to do, and it's trying very hard to fill this gap. I think coal is a genuine issue for people at the moment. It doesn't seem to be able to get a run, but it's trying very hard. It has gapped down here and now filled it again. It gapped here and it's trying to fill that again. You could almost draw, it's very dodgy, but if you draw a box there, it's going to come out. It's going to fill that there. It's going to have, you can't draw a box. It really is just this line needs to carry on across the top here. I think that is what's in play at the moment, this resistance here. Just trying to draw it. I think that's more what's in play here, getting through that level before it can fill the gap, which is not that much further up. But this is an interesting one. I like watching Yell. Again, you can't watch it too closely because it's just too gappy, like the other stock we were just looking at. But it's trying very hard. Something to maybe keep an eye on.
Yes. On balance, volume was all right over the last month. It does look as though it's in an upward trend.
Yep.
The trend lines are okay.
Yeah, sort of trying to hold above it, above them.
But if you were safe, I think you'd probably wait for the 750 mark. But,
yeah, that's true. Being a bit conservative.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, but and you're right, because I know a lot of coal like Whitehaven's having issues with getting it going, and New Hope is also a bit the same. I'm not in the news enough with coal to really know, except that people are, it's dirty. So people don't like getting their hands dirty.
Yes, but unfortunately we're going to have a range of things.
We 100% need it for a while. So, so that's the end of our list today. So we'll go and revisit them again a couple of weeks and catching up in 2 weeks again. Yep. And we'll go through and see what they're doing.
That might be the last one.
That'll be the last one for the year, and then we'll regroup and come back together in Feb. So, yeah. All right, thanks
All right.
again, Jeff.
Okay, see you in 2 weeks.
Yep, see you later.